All right. You there?
Yeah.
We is live.
Live. And in color.
All right. So, what do you want to talk about the last week?
Cowboys won.
They-
Josh Jacobs went for 303 yards.
Jaguars won.
Hey, they went for two. It was cool. Who else went for two? The
Chargers, right?
Chargers?
Mm-hmm.
Those are ballsy moves. Man, getting the Jaguars, man, you got nothing to lose at that point, right? Just go for it. It was good. I liked it. It's good to see.
I mean, it's a great decision if it works, right?
The Lions almost beat the Bills. That was kind of odd. Was it though? I mean, the Lions' offense ain't bad, man. Now that the Egyptian receivers back, they're sparking again. The running backs are healthy, so they're sparking again.
Correct. Yeah, it was, and it's Thanksgiving too, so you think that people get up for those games a little more than normal.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you're out of it, you're like, we don't want to embarrass ourselves on national TV, blah, blah, blah.
Broncos and Panthers went about what we expected. Man, Wilson looks terrible.
Well, except for, so yeah, that's the recap. So, weekly scores, we both did very well. I think we were both 12-4.
Where did we go wrong?
I will tell you that.
Yay.
I'm glad you asked. So,
We missed 4 apiece. That's pretty good.
correct. I'm signing in right now. Hold on. So, the wrongs were the Pats and the Vikes. You picked the Pats. The Panthers and the Broncos. I picked the Broncos. We both swung and missed on the Bucks. The Bears I picked over the Jets, Jets. You picked the Ravens and the stupid effing pick over the Jags. And the AFC champion Indianapolis Colts, we both swung and missed.
The Ravens is a good pick.
Yeah. Matty Ice turned to Matty Nice real quick and that did not work out.
So I got to find out how much Uncle Rico's up now since the Jets won. It wasn't a lot because they were playing the Bears.
Correct.
But oh well.
And poor Striker did not do well. Did not fare thee well throughout the whole game.
I thought Seattle was going to win that one. Then all of a sudden, not today.
You thought him, but you didn't pick him. So I appreciate you. If you want to change that pick now, we can.
I did pick Seattle, didn't I?
No.
I picked. Oh, that was the one where I said, you know what? My gut says go with the Raiders. And I went with the Raiders. Sorry, Striker. I think I even apologized to Striker.
You did apologize.
The Raiders.
Do not even worry about it. They tackled like the early season Seahawks, not the recent Seahawks.
So you're still are you still first in the West, or are you tied for first in the West, or are you
San Francisco's up a game.
up a game?
Tough one.
We are now ahead of the Colts by
bad.
a quarter game or whatever the tie counts as
Good game.
for second place.
Good
But
game.
good games on the overall. So the first game is the Bills at the Patriots.
Good old Bills at the Patriots. Take a peek at them. Well, this is Thursday night's game, right?
This is Thursday night's game.
You know, I said Belichick was going to know how to push the Vikings buttons, and that didn't happen.
Every time we do that, we do not do well. Like Belichick, hears us and goes, "I'm not pushing any buttons today."
I don't see New England. Look, I don't know, man. It's a tough one, bro, because the defense for New England is good, but Josh Allen is Josh Allen, right? And how do you stop him and Diggs? And this is a tough team to beat. Period. It's Josh Allen. It's just a tough team to beat. Now, given they've lost 3 times this season already, so obviously they know how to lose, and Belichick's studying that film, but I don't think it's enough. I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills on this one. I don't want to spend too much time on it, other than Belichick versus Josh Allen. I give it to Josh Allen.
And I don't feel those 3 losses were it's just the ball bounces funny sometimes. It's just one of those things. Josh Allen got hurt, and I don't that they lost some key players on defense. It doesn't feel like. They feel like a better than 6-3 team that just had some bad luck, right? I agree. It's teams. I think it's teams' chances now to kick New England when they're down, and I think that's exactly what the Bills are going to do. Unless there's some freak snowstorm and they don't move the game to Detroit. I don't see the Patriots having enough firepower to keep up. So let's keep this one simple. Let's go with the Bills across the board.
Sounds like fun. Good job. See y'all next week. What's next online?
The next one's going to be the Packers and the Bears. Oh, I said that, but I skipped a game, which is Pittsburgh at Atlanta.
Why wouldn't you skip it?
Yeah, well.
Man, there's been some ugly matchups this season. The games you really don't want to watch. Now, out of these two teams,
which did you watch the Steelers on Monday night?
Not really.
Yeah, I took a flyer for some of them. They didn't look terrible. I mean, they didn't, but they're playing the Colts, so you're like, well, the Colts make everybody look better.
The Falcons aren't playing too bad either, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but the Falcons lost their tight end and Kyle Pitts, so.
Yeah, but he wasn't having a great year anyhow.
Correct.
Who comes in behind him though?
Bob from aisle 7, row 3. You have just won the starting tight end position.
Well, Cordell's there.
Well, these two teams aren't loaded on fantasy relevance anyhow, so.
The matchups this week have been horrible. Like Steelers and the Colts, that wasn't a great game. Then you're looking now at Falcons and the Steelers. Another do I really want to watch this game?
No.
The Falcons are, to me, the better team in a sense. But Striker's right. Pitts is gone, so we'll see what happens there.
I mean, Pitts was the third leading receiver on the Falcons. It was only 28 receptions, 59 targets for 356. But I mean, that's still ball movement you got to account for.
Well, and he's a beast. So I mean, in a normal functioning offense, he's a superstar. But in a Mariota-led offense,
Pitts is even their leading receiver. You got London and the rookie and that other guy, Zacchaeus. I don't know who he is, but
Zucchini.
The Pittsburgh side, Najee Harris is supposedly hurt. Snell's going to run a game, which maybe will help him. But this is another snooze fest, in my opinion. Just to pick a winner, I'm going to go with the Falcons and their better offense than what the Pittsburgh Steelers are putting up. So I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Going with the home team. I feel the Falcons are still a little better team, even without Pitts. With that being said, Pickett looked nice in the Monday night game. It's against the Colts, though, so you go, But he is a rookie, so maybe there's future in Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with the home team just because they're home. It seems like that's the safe bet. So I will match your Falcons prediction.
Listen, if you want to win the picks, you can't win by going the same picks as me.
I can't, but you're also you can't win by going out on a stupid effing pick.
Oh God!
Spree, right? So, all right. So let's get to the Packers and the Bears, which had a Jordan Love sighting last week. So,
man, you keep thinking like, wow, the Packers have, Aaron Rodgers. How can they be this bad? But
relax. Just relax.
They look horrible.
They look horrible.
And now we're playing. And then the Bears aren't going to have their top running back playing, right?
Justin's been watching games. I don't know if he's playing for this one.
Fields is out, apparently. I mean, wow. The Bears just got worse without their running back. So, I mean, given that the Packers still have Aaron, the running backs are starting to come alive.
Well, but Aaron's hurt too.
Oh, well, whatever. It's the running game. Does it really matter? They're 4-8. It's not like they're doing anything special. It's not like they're throwing to anybody. This is another I'm telling you, man, this season has been so weird with the matchups and some soft games like Atlanta and the Colts or Atlanta and Pittsburgh, Chicago and Green Bay. And that's funny when you say that with Green Bay in the sentence, right? But it's true. Green Bay has looked horrible this season, so every game they play is like, do I really want to watch?
But I mean, normally we'd be talking Chicago Green Bay with the Packers are going to win by 4 touchdowns, and it's not even close, right?
And I own Chicago.
Well, listen. Both these teams are horrible. Chicago has no running back, so it might still be Green Bay by 4 touchdowns, to be honest. I'm going to go with Green Bay in this one. I think their running game will prove too much for Chicago. And Chicago has zero offense to speak of right now, so
yeah, they were talking about in the Bears game, which I somehow managed to stumble upon. And they're talking about, they're so good in rushing in the NFL, but the big chunk of that was Fields, and he's not there. So, and when that's sitting on the sideline, again, however bad he is as a quarterback, he's a really good running back. On the flip side, I think that even if the Packers don't have Rodgers, I think Love did pretty good in the fourth quarter. I mean, he led a scoring drive. He almost brought him back. So you said it all year long. Something looks off on Rodgers. Maybe they've hit goal. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Love. Maybe they've hit goal a third time, which would be neat.
Maybe he chose the wrong year to stop doing cocaine.
Correct. So you picked the Packers. I can't. The Bears look putrid with their new quarterback, and I mean just putrid. And Mooney's out for the year, right? So
yeah.
I mean, that doesn't help.
They have no offense to speak of.
They're going to run the Cole Kmet single wing offense. Yeah, I don't think it matters who's playing. I'm going to go with the Packers and yeah. Can you make some dumb picks so I can capitalize, please?
I mean, look at the games we've talked about so far. Pitt and Atlanta, horrible. Chicago and Green Bay, horrible. The only good one is Buffalo, New England. Ugh, and there's more horrible going down the road here soon. So,
correct. Let's continue with the horrible. With the Homer Jaguars playing in Detroit.
Set that one up perfectly, didn't I, Strick? Yeah, Jackson. Again, this is not. Look, I'm gonna say this, and I said all season.
Be gentle. Be gentle.
But he looked okay this game, man. I was surprised. He didn't make me a believer or anything like that, but he played a good game. It wasn't a bad game from Sunshine. I don't
read the stat striker.
I'm going to look at him right now.
They weren't
last game.
Yeah. Give me the Trevor Lawrence stats against the Ravens, who are no terrible defense.
29 for 37, 321, 3 touchdowns. Did have 4 sacks, but had a rating of 129.8.
No picks.
Correct about the Ravens defense, though. The Ravens defense have been giving up a lot of passing yardage. FYI. So don't.
That's it. We're all in.
Shoulder just yet.
So it wasn't that. It was the fourth quarter. Like normally when he's in, there's a feeling of any Jaguars quarterback. There's a feeling of dread when we had the ball and like a minute left to go down the field and score. And that's exactly what he did. Then on that on that going for 2, there was that thing was a rocket that came out. So that was great. He looked like a franchise quarterback in this game. Question is, does he keep it up?
Well, Detroit's not a great team by any measures. To be honest, he did play the Bills very good, very well, however you want to say it, but the defense isn't great. So Sunshine has an opportunity to come back and win a back-to-back, win. The only problem is now you lost the Frenchman, right? He's out with a foot injury. Is he going to play or not?
No, he's going to play. They said they were holding him out for caution, and it was not related to the Liz Frank injury.
Because your next one, Hasty, that guy's not really great. Look, like I said, Detroit's D, not that great. Sunshine looking good, looking better. Frenchman still playing. Man, I'm so on the fence to want to take Jacksonville here so bad. I just don't want to pick St. Better, pick with you. But I'm going to give it up to Sunshine. He played really well last game, and I'm going to take the Jaguars this time. Even though Egyptian receiver, man, he's going to have some big yardage. And, yeah, man, what am I doing here? Yeah, I'm going to stick to it, man. I'm going to go with your Jags.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going with the Jags. The problem is looking at the schedule. This is a must win because we played the Titans twice. We played the Cowboys. There's a list of 7-win teams that we have to knock off to make any noise. So if they want to make the playoffs, this is a must win. I think they're 8th in position for the playoffs. So they're still in it, which is all you can really ask for at this point in time. So
my question is this: before we make it official, can the Jaguars stop the Detroit Lions offense? They've got great receivers. They've got a good running game. The quarterback, even though it's Goff, is playing all right. Do you have the defense to stop the Lions?
Yeah, I believe they do. And I thought they had the defense to stop Lamar, and they did a pretty good job. He had some plays, but he's a superstar. He's going to have plays. I don't think they have any problem against Goff.
No, you would think Buffalo would have stopped them too, though, right? I'm still going with the Jags.
Yeah.
I picked it, but it's gonna be a lot. I think it's gonna be another, last second 2-point conversion win kind of game. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Shootout.
I hope it's not. I hope we can.
No, it's a shootout.
I think our defense should be way better than the Lions' defense, and our offense can be just as good. That's what I hope. Although our offense hasn't been consistent, so that's we haven't put up 30 in a long, long time. So, and the Lions put up 30 a lot.
The Lions are the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL.
Correct.
I would not worry too much about the.
I'm not worried about their offense scoring. I'm wondering if their defense could stop the Lions' offense.
Where's the Jags listed at? About 15th?
Yep, actually right at 15.
Yeah, I figured as much. So yeah.
But the Bills couldn't stop the run game or the pass game on the Lions, so it's gonna be a good one. Like I said, I think it's shootout. I think that Sunshine has a little confidence going behind him, and I think the team is rallying. I think shootout. I think the Jaguars win, but it's gonna be a good one. I would actually watch this 4-7 matchup.
Yeah, I will be watching this 4-7 matchup.
I watch it anyway.
Possibly throwing things at the same time. All right, enough about that.
The Jags.
This could be the game that we point to and go, remember that Ravens game? That's when Sunshine came to his own. Or we could be like, remember that one game he had that was good before he went to the Browns?
Yeah, exactly.
And then got a rub and tug.
Deshaun's roommate. Deshaun's masseuse.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the people that Deshaun would ask for, Sunshine does look close to his type.
Yeah.
Big fingers, long hair. Just saying.
Uncle Rico at the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, this is a game he can make money on. I think he only made like $450 off his 1,000 bet. I don't know. It wasn't a lot, he said. But I think he's still kind of bitter for losing the $7,000, but whatever. He should have cut his tie. He should have walked away when he could have, right?
You got to know when to fold him, right?
This one, the odds are probably higher for him. I don't know, man. It's funny because the Jets aren't getting like big time odds against them either. We'd have to look to see what the odds are.
Okay, so tell me the last time that you have a team that was terrible, that is doing well, that drops a quarterback because something he said that was stupid, starts this white kid who goes cray-cray, and then goes, meh, he's staying. What? That happens at bad teams, not teams that are doing well.
You got that. You know what, though, man? Look, being a professional coach, I'm sure is. I mean, being a coach at my level is kind of sometimes, but imagine the stress and pressure these guys have. So to say, hey, yeah, this one's out and this one's in, I mean, they know what they're doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
They're not just doing it to off the cuff or whatever. He's got to know what's going on, and we'll see. You know, Mike White played a great game, and maybe that's the spark that the team needs to go over the hump because they're not doing bad, man. They're 7-4. Like the Jets have a legit chance at playoffs and everything, right? So I don't know. Mike White went in. He did well against let's temper it though. The Bears, right?
Mhm.
Who haven't been doing great this season. Period.
But they pounded him. I mean, they did not show mercy.
Yeah, but he went 315, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. He only missed. He went 22 for 28.
But didn't he do this before? So didn't he have a little run with the Jets a year or two ago where he had 2 or 3 games, it was 300 yards, and then relegated back to the bench for whatever reason? Am I crazy?
I don't recall, but we'll see, man. Look, teams rallying, maybe.
Yeah.
There's some story out there about locker room divided. I thought I read that on NFL.com earlier, but
I guess against the Bears it doesn't matter, huh? With no Justin Fields, they're like, we don't care.
And now they're playing the Vikings, right? So this is a real deal game. This isn't. Look, if Mike White is the real deal or the reason that he's not even the real deal. The coach put him there because of something that Wilson, messed up on.
Yeah.
So you might see Wilson in the second half. Who knows? This is not going to be an easy game for him. The Vikings aren't a pushover, obviously. Their defense, in my opinion, isn't great whatsoever.
The Vikes or the Jets?
The Vikes. The Vikes defense is horrible. Their offense, however, is pretty good. The Jets' defense is pretty good. So, I mean, you got high-powered offense against high-powered defense and low-powered offense against low-powered defense. So, I mean, even Stevens, I guess, this game's going to go pretty well. You know who I'm picking. Obviously, the Jets. Jets. But this is not going to be a big game either way. Well, it is going to be a scoring game, but I think it evens out, right? You've got, like I said, best defense against best offense, and so on and so forth. It's going to be a good game, though. I'd watch this one as well, and I'm going to go with the Jets.
So I'm going to use your own thing against you.
Oh, shit.
So fantasy relevance. What do you have on the Jets?
Does it matter? All season they haven't had shit and been doing.
But flip on the Vikes. You've got Cousins, who you're drafting even though you don't want to. You've got Cook, who you're drafting and you want him and you're just praying he stays healthy. You've got Jefferson, who you're drafting early and the first round and hoping that he stays healthy. And he's just a beast. And on the Jets, you have whom?
The defense.
Okay, so 3-1?
Yeah.
Vikings.
But all your fantasy relevance, though, came on what side of the ball? The offense, right? Again, it evens out.
Yeah, last I checked, defense wins championships, but offense wins games.
Jets.
Vikes. Uncle Rico is wrong.
We'll see.
I broke that winning streak when I picked on him, though, so just tell Rico he owes me some money when I picked wrong.
Moneyline is Vikings -3, but they're at home, so that's essentially a pick 'em game. Because Vegas usually gives 2.5 or 3 for the home team.
If I had any confidence in Cousins, I'd put money on that one. Like if he was anything other than when you say Kirk Cousins, I mean, there's literally memes about Kirk Cousins. So, yeah, not gonna do it. All right. Next game we have the Commanders and the Giants. Someone in the NFC East is gonna lose.
True. NFC East matchup, you already know it's going to be a great game. They always are. Now you just got to pick who's better and who's worse. In this game, I think the quarterback, you definitely give it to the Giants. Running game, you definitely give it to the Giants. Passing game, I think your stronger receivers are on the Commander side, but their QB's got to get it to him, which he isn't bad, but defense is where it's going to all come down to, and I think defenses are about even. What are they ranked at, Strikey? About the same, right?
They're
not too far.
No, they're pretty close, if I remember correctly.
Correct. So the Commanders have no running game. The Giants obviously have Barkley, who hasn't had a couple good weeks, but I think he'll blow up on this one. NFC East matchup, you know it's going to be a good game regardless. It's going to go down to the fourth quarter, and in this one, Jones and Barkley take it away, man, and little Slayton and whoever else they have throwing the ball to as well. I'm gonna go with the Giants.
So I thought they were close. I'm completely wrong. The Washington football team's 10th in defense. The Giants are, 8th in yards, 10th in points. The Giants are 22nd in yards and 14th in points. So
I'll go with the G-men. I think they beat the Commanders.
So there's in the Washington games, they've been keeping people close, and with their defense. And then Heineke actually looks okay, or Hinkie, whatever his name is. He's not making the winces. So,
oh boy.
So, I'm not a believer in Jones. He is a running quarterback that leans more as a running back than a quarterback. They are the home team, right?
I think it's Washington at the Giants.
It's at the Giants.
Just say it.
I'm picking the Commanders.
Well, good for you. NFC East game. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Go either way.
Could go either way.
The Giants.
The Heinekes.
And the Heine.
Okay. Need your guys to step up here. Can you make the Eagles fly? So the Titans are playing the Eagles.
That is an interesting game.
Is it though? I mean, Titans are still who they are. Their passing game isn't going to go anywhere near what they passed last week. All they really have again is Henry. The Eagles have a pretty stellar defense that can stop a run. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be that interesting. You can't stop Henry, period, right? He's going to get yardage no matter what because he's a big running back that can run over a whole team. So he's going to get his yardage. He's going to pick up his yardage anyways. Eagles are 10-1 for a reason now, right? They'll be 10 or whatever and 2 once they play the Cowboys again, but they're definitely a solid team. They're really moving the ball. They're stopping the ball. They're looking solid, man. I thought, it was their schedule, and somewhat it is, but they're starting to look a lot better just on the field in general. I think they're a pretty good defensive team. On the other side of that, Tannehill, come on now. All the Titans really have is Henry. Will he still get 100-plus yards and a touchdown? Yeah, but it won't be enough. So I'm going with Philly on this. So Philly and their running back quarterback.
So Philly's probably top 5 DE, right?
Sure.
Second in yards, 9th in points.
Yeah. How bad are the Titans?
21st in yards and 8th in points, funnily enough.
What I thought. Well, I mean, and that's really their 7 wins has been doing exactly what you say they can't do. They run the ball, they convert on third. They run the ball to keep the chains, right? So it's short, third down, they make a play. Their defense plays adequate, and they've won games. The Eagles are doing the same thing, right? Only on the Eagles, who do you have? You got, I think they've got better players, and Hurts is also at a quarterback position where he can throw the ball and run the ball in the red zone. I think that's what's going to give the Titans fits. I think it's going to be a close one. I want the Eagles to win, so that's not really fair. But I think the difference is going to be. I think you're right. Henry's going to get his yards. I don't see the Titans defense stopping the Eagles in the red zone. So I'm also going with the Eagles.
There's a lot of Titans on the injury report too, which probably won't be good for them long term in the game.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
It'll be the Feagles for sure.
Alrighty. Marching right along.
Yeah.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Goodbye.
Indy, I wouldn't want to be them. The Broncos are playing the Ravens.
That's right. Oh boy, do we have to do this?
Yes, because we have to give how bad is Baltimore going to beat the Tar Heel Russell Wilson?
Let me ask you this question: do you think Russell Wilson retires after this season?
Not a chance in hell.
No, because he's got too much money on the table.
Too much money on the table. Yep.
Ugh.
Would you?
Well, money-wise, no, but you would think these guys are professional athletes to have a sense of pride, right? A sense of something, man, because he's playing horrible.
I don't know, $25 million a year, and I can swallow some pride.
Yeah, of course, right? But still,
I'm not even going to make the joke.
He's got I want to say, I guess, legacy, if you want to put it that way, to live up to or whatever. But, dude, Come on now. You are playing the most horrible ball you've played ever. You're not hurt, supposedly. You're not hooked on coke like Aaron Rodgers. Like, what is your excuse? Are you gonna blame everybody around you? They're not doing great, but are they not doing great because it's you, right? I mean, think about it. Uh, I don't know, man. I think Russell should hang him up already. I think the Denver Broncos will cut him. To be honest, at the end of this season, the Denver Broncos let go. If they release him, they only have to pay him a part of that contract, right? Or how much was guaranteed?
Oh, I mean, it's a signing bonus, right? That's the part that's guaranteed. It's a huge number though. They cut him and it's like $50 million next year. Like that's like 5 or 6 year contract.
Then be smart.
So it's it's $107 million dead money spread out over the next 5 years.
Then use him as a very expensive coach, man. You draft a rookie, and you use Russell Wilson to teach
with
him
the
things.
third overall pick, like there are the third round pick.
You mean the Seattle?
Yeah, Denver put themselves in the worst.
They are. So best case scenario on that, right? Let's just walk the Broncos out. The best case scenario is that Hackett, also known as the greatest Bortles on earth offense, he's just a bad coach. That's the best case scenario. And that him and Russell aren't vibing. Russell was not bad in Seattle, even towards the end, right? He was okay. He was hurt. Like, he wasn't bad. So, is this just Hackett is a terrible coach and, he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers to bail him out? Maybe. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, Russell's actually done. Put a pin in him, done. And they've got a lot of dead money that they can't get rid of this guy for 2 years.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something.
With a defense that is Super Bowl ready. I mean, they've given up. I mean, their defense is holding teams to 13 points with an inept offense. That's extremely difficult when the offense is putting you in situations where you have to stop them each time.
They're 25th in yards and 32nd in points on the offense and 3-3 on the defense.
Well, exactly. Then isn't it better for you to just sit Russell and take your chances with whatever backup you have right now? How much worse can the backup quarterback do than Russell Wilson?
Not much.
The whole point, man. It's time to drop Russ. Drop him, bench him, do whatever. What do you have to lose at this point? You're 3-8. Russell Wilson is not playing any better whatsoever. Now's the time.
What was last week's stat line on Russell?
Let's go take a peek. It's not going to be good. You already know that.
I just want to see how bad it was. Since there's still things like Carson Wentz has more touchdowns than Russell Wilson, it amazes me.
So 19 for 35, 142, 1 touchdown.
That's Justin Fields-esque. Whew.
Yeah, with 2 rushes for 8 yards.
Oh, that saved the day right there.
But that's what I'm saying. It's Justin Fields-esque on the arm side without the
without any wheels. It's Justin Fields with 2 flat tires.
And 10 points, right?
Oh, man.
It's like you have a great. You know what? This isn't the. Your defense is great. Your defense is going to keep you in games. But if your offense is that inept, and that's what freaks me out. Like, how inept can your offense be that you can't even run the ball? And that's the other story. I know Russell isn't the running back, and their running backs are kind of sad right now too. But man, it's not just. Yeah, it is, man. It's Russell. Period. Let's put it there. You can't just have a running game and win the game. You're not the Titans, right? You're not. You don't have Derrick Henry on your side.
Yeah, it has to be a superstar running back to even attempt that. This is going to be nasty. Like, the Ravens are pissed. They're going to waylay the Broncos.
They're on tilt.
They are on tilt.
Well, if you pick the Broncos, that would definitely hit the S.
Yes.
Yeah. The STF pick, what is it? SF pick, I guess. But yeah, nobody's going with the Broncos here. You know that. Ravens all the way. I think we spent enough time on Russell Wilson. Bye, Russell.
Bye, Russ.
The Ravens.
Blink, blink. Cleveland at Houston.
You mean the Deshaun Watson comeback tour game?
Oh,
Yeah, we've said that for 3 weeks now. Apparently, we'll get it right one time.
so many bad games this week. Oh my god. Like literally, wow. The NFL needs, like I said, man, they need flex schedule where they can flex out teams because this is horrible. There's not even look, man. Houston looks just terrible.
Hello, Houston Texans. You've been eliminated. Please get a new team.
Houston, you got a lot of problems. They look horrible, man. Not even Pierce, who was their only sunshine, right, isn't performing anymore either. This team is dead in the water. It really is. It's horrible, horrible. I think they're just blowing the rest of the season so they get that number 1 pick and can replace Deshaun with somebody that doesn't like to be massaged in certain areas. The Browns, they still have a great running game. Deshaun Watson's going to play this game, obviously. Look who they're playing. So, yeah, Cleveland comes in and beats on the Houston Texans. Now, by some off miracle, maybe the Texans show up for this game and want to beat Deshaun because it's Deshaun, and they play that inspired one game and end up, 2-9-1. It's possible. I'm not going to bet on it so I'm going with Cleveland.
That's so the fairy tale nightmare ending for the Browns, isn't it?
It'd be funny though, wouldn't it?
It would be hilarious that his former team is amped up playing at home, and he goes like 1 for 20 with 3 picks. So, and it's not out of the question, right? Like that can actually happen. The problem is the Texans look like they quit. Like they look like they quit. The Dolphins just waylaid them, right? So I don't think it matters who's quarterback. I think they could have Russell Wilson at quarterback and still beat the Texans. With that be said, it would be very interesting to watch the Texans win this one, and get the last laugh. So, Striker, any comments in the color commentary on this one?
I mean, I hope Deshaun comes back because it's about the only storyline for this game I'm going to care about. I don't know. This is another one of these, as Rip has said, like there's a lot of really ugly games this week. And
I just can't believe how many ugly games this week
Speaking of ugly games,
oh boy,
the Seahawks at the Rams.
Why is
it's the Seahawks are 7.5-point favorites in Inglewood.
Oh, it's because the Rams have no one left.
Inglewood? That's not true. Look, you're still looking at the Rams. I was thinking the Chargers. You're right. Never mind. Seahawks by 40. I was thinking the Chargers for some reason. I don't know what happened there, but you're right.
You're all like, you are wrong. Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Gino and company, Walker, who's looking great, Lockett, Metcalf. There's just so many good parts to the Seahawks. Why they're 6-5? I don't know. Bad luck, I guess. But yeah, they'll handily beat the Rams. The Rams are going to definitely at quarterback. It's the guy from seat 4. At receiver, you got the guy from aisle 7. At running back, they brought in a guy from the local high school to play running back.
Yeah, we got their starting running back, and we put him on the practice squad. Like, that's how talented they are.
The Rams look horrible. So, going with the Seahawks in this one, there's really not much more to say.
So, with the exception of Elway retiring in Denver, can you think of a bigger drop-off from Champ to the next year?
No.
I mean, with a healthy, brought almost, they brought most people back. This is a shell of that Super Bowl team.
No, they didn't bring that many people back, though. They brought a lot of their starters back, but there were a lot of secondary guys coming on this team that didn't come back, like the depth. You know what I mean? So a lot of their depth is really young on the Rams right now, which is one of their problems.
Yeah.
So last year they had 6 guys on the defensive line that they could rotate through, and now they've got really 2 or 3. And with Donald out, it's even worse now.
I mean, with Donald out, with Cup out, with Stafford really never looked right all year long, right? Is he on the retire list?
He should be.
No, it was Ripper's retired list.
Yes, Stafford, most definitely.
So, there's not a lot of drama in this one. I don't love the Seahawks. I think that they're more than capable of winning this game, and they're probably going to be your West champs.
Maybe. The Seahawks.
With Geno and the Jets.
Yeah.
The Fish and the 49ers. Now, this seems to me like it's a good game.
Finally.
49ers lost their running back again.
Looks like the second half of. What do you mean? Is McCaffrey out?
No, the other running back,
Oh,
Mitchell.
Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah, but does it really matter? I mean,
well, it's just the fact that you're like, he's going to get hurt every 5 games. And he did.
This is going to be a good game. This is actually one I want to watch. I think your buddy Garoppolo is still proving he deserves to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's proving the 49ers like, yeah, you're lucky I'm still here kind of thing.
Yeah.
Will he get a new contract next year? Man, how could he not? But I guess we'll see, right? 49ers got a running game with McCaffrey, obviously. They got 2 great receivers in Ayuk and Samuel. Their defense is top-notch.
The fantasy relevance is off the charts.
San Francisco's defense is 1-1 yards and points.
They didn't score a lot against the Saints.
So the Miami Dolphins are 3rd in yards and 6th in offense. This is going to be...
It's going to be a good one. This is a game, like we said, we want to watch, right? Can Garoppolo pass against that Miami defense? We'll see. Will either defense stop the other's offense? Again, another we'll see. But if you have to look at it and say, all right, you're putting 2 heavyweights, their offense against this guy's defense, because Miami's offense is pretty top-notch. Against San Francisco's #1 defense, which heavyweight are you choosing there? Who's going to get knocked out? You get it.
Yeah, I got it.
No, you did. All right, cool.
So what's Tua at, like, overall for the season?
Tua is 198 at 284 for 2,564 yards, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
And that's with half his head working.
And that's only over 9 games.
You know that knockout killed half of his skill, and he's still doing great. Just kidding, but he's looking good. And on the other side, which is so funny, the running backs for the Dolphins are 2 ex-49ers. You got Mustard and Wilson, which is hilarious. But when they come to play their old team, they always play.
There's an extra year there, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here in this game. It's going to be a good one, man. I honestly think that this is probably going to end up being a type of game you don't want to miss, right? Like back and forth touchdowns, I believe. I think that Miami's going to come up and score some good points. I mean, you've got so much fantasy relevance on both sides, right?
Yes.
It's going to be a great game. Honestly, I'm going to have to say this. And oh wait, Striker's not a 49er fan; he's a Seattle fan. God! I'm going with the Dolphins in this one, man. The Dolphins. And you know who's going to have a big game? Wilson.
Why do you think? Just out of curiosity, why do you think the Dolphins?
I think Tua is a better quarterback than Garoppolo, for one. I know that defense is top-notch, but they're not playing Andy Dalton like they did last week, right?
Correct.
Kamara got shut up because Kamara isn't a big-time running back. He's a dump it to me, now I'm going to make yardage after the catch, and Andy Dalton can do that. Tua can run. Tua can throw. Tua's got weapons all over the place to throw to. He's got receivers that Waddle, Hill. He's got a running game. I just think that Miami Dolphins give a matchup to the 49ers they haven't seen all season. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And I think that the inspiration of what Mustard and Wilson to come back to the 49ers and prove something, that's pretty much why I'm going with it.
Oh, okay.
Is that enough for you?
No, I wondered because in my head it's the Niners are the #1 defense. The Dolphins are, I'm gonna guess, middle of the pack, 10, 15, right? Strike. Yes, Wardy, you're right.
Yes, Wardy. Yes, Wardy. Sorry, I'm going through strength of schedule on those two right now, which is why I was.
Oh, you're fine.
Not able to answer quickly. I mean, it's an interesting set of matchups. I think if Debo was playing, and it doesn't sound like he's going to, I'd probably go the Niners, but because Debo's a game changer in my book, and not having Debo hurts.
That does
Holy
hurt.
crap! So, did you guys know C-Mac and Debo are the same age? I did not realize C-Mac was only 26.
I do now.
Yes.
He's
a youngin, a young Hurden.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I just thought C-Mac was older.
I'm going with the Niners. I think their defense can and should make Tua's day uncomfortable. I do think the Dolphins are explosive, and you never know. They can do, again, before they knew it, they had 30 points last, they in a blink of an eye. So you're right. They are going to present challenges. I think the 49ers are going to win. I think Garoppolo's been clicking. This might be the game that he does the Kirk Cousins flip around, so we'll see, but I'm going with the 49ers.
Interesting. It's going to be a good one.
Alrighty then. Another good one, Kansas City and Cincinnati.
Another good game, you're right. Hold on. Something popped up on my screen. All right, so KC and Cincinnati. This is a hell of a game to watch, actually. Burrows ain't doing too bad. That team is starting to step up big time, and they're looking really good. But then again, on the other side of the ball, you got KC. Who's ranked higher on offense here, KC or the Chiefs? I mean, Chiefs or the Bengals? My bad. I think the Chiefs, right? Strikey? Color commentary, stats? Dead zone for the stats?
No, my freaking internet has decided to take a dump.
This was brought to you by Seattle's Internet. Seattle, Washington.
Brought to you by Cable Internet, Charter Spectrum. We suck.
How well is this team matched up offensively and defensively?
So the Chiefs are number one in offense across the board. They're about middle of the pack in defense, 14 and 16. The Bengals are 6 in yards, 5th in points, and 13 and 13 in defense. So this is going to be, I think this is going to be a last possession game based on what I'm seeing. Like whoever, either first team to turn it over or the last team that has to punt.
As it should be. You got two young quarterbacks, right? You got two exciting teams to watch. This is going to be a really fun game to watch, honestly. I think that you're right. I think it is going to be a possession game. I don't think that the Kansas City's defense is going to do anything special against Cincinnati, but let's just knock defense out of the way. There's going to be an big time offensive game. They're going to be throwing the ball left and right, and it's going to be a shootout, and it's going to come down to who has the ball last. Do you trust in who would you want as your quarterback for that last drive? Do you want Burrows or do you want Patty Mahomes, right? It's a tough one, man. They're both winning quarterbacks. They're both great. Fantasy relevance on offense. They have plenty of offense. I think Cincinnati has a little more relevance than Kansas City, believe it or not. Kansas City, you got Mahomes, you got Kels, Jimmy Jones, sort of. Running game, they got a rookie running right now, Pacheco, which isn't great. They got Melvin Gordon from Denver, okay. On the Bengals side, you got Burrows, you got Mixon. Even if Mixon isn't in and Perrine's playing, he's filled in pretty well. Higgins, Chase, Boyd. There's a lot of good fantasy relevance on both sides. So it's going to be an even matchup, man. You got to choose one at the end to think that is going to win. And I personally think that the Bengals win this one. It's a long way away to say the Bengals, but yes. Why? You can ask me why again?
No.
Let me tell you. I just think Burrows is a winner, man, and so is Patty Mahomes, but I think this is Burrows' year as far as winning those big games, and this is one of those big games he has to win. I think he'll be all right.
The Chiefs are one defensive stop and one offensive score better. So, Chiefs.
Maybe. So we'll see.
Easy peasy. And the question is, who do I want? The number one offense across the board.
Well,
that's who I want.
I said quarterback.
I know, but I want the number one offense to and that's where they've been. I think their defense is salvageable, and they stop the teams enough possessions for their offense to finish them. And Kelsey has been absolutely unstoppable. So, the Chiefs.
The Bengals.
The Chargers at the Raiders.
Las Vegas. This is gonna be an okay game.
This Josh Jacobs, dear Lord, please give me 40 points again.
Well, he's kind of banged up, but hopefully he plays.
I know. I saw
I think
that.
this is a game where Carr falls off the sky again, right? So, good game, bad game kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a bad game again. On the other side, you got Herbert, better quarterback, all in all, in my opinion. Eckler running a little bit better, right? Your receivers are back. Williams supposedly might play. You got Allen and Palmer out there. On the Raiders side, obviously, you've got some good pieces too. Quarterback-wise, you're all right. I'm not big on David Carr, but you got Josh Jacobs playing for a contract. We talked about that. I mean, you know this dude's going to end up somewhere else with big money. That was a big game last week, and he continues to have good games. So he's gone. Raiders should have signed him up. You know what I mean? They should have signed him up big time. But they didn't. They'll either pay to keep him or they'll let him go and let him get paid somewhere else. Devontae Adams, so and so on. End of day, I think Carr messes it all up for the Raiders, and the Chargers win because the Chargers have a quarterback who isn't a big ass choker like Carr. So I'm going with the Chargers. Yeah, I know.
That's exactly right. That's exactly how I expect it to happen. Only thing I ask is that Jacobs starts, gets a lot of yards.
Yeah.
He's been saving my bacon.
Carr chokes. Chargers win. Viva Las Vegas.
The end.
Yeah.
The AFC champion, future AFC champion, Indianapolis Colts versus the Cowboys of Dallas.
Well, I'm going to shock you this week. Cowboys will not win by 21 points.
By 21
maybe
points.
17 points. Yeah, you know the Cowboys are taking this one. Look, man, you were wrong about the Colts winning the Super Bowl, by the way.
I was wrong.
Colts are horrible.
They're not horrible. They're bad.
They're bad, but now you thought, last week I was saying, Saturday maybe they're rallying behind them, and then he makes, clock's ticking, but I just didn't think it was relevant to call timeout at that time. What the? Listen, man, what are you doing? Why would you not use a timeout? That was rookie mistake from a rookie coach, sure, but man, he's a football player. You should know better. That's one out there.
And he was a smart football player, so you're like, it's doubly bad, right? It's not like he was, some lunkhead. He was a center that's supposed to call offensive plays and stuff.
Right.
So doubly bad.
Yeah. Very bad. End of story. Cowboys win this one big. You know that. They're on fire right now. They're 8-3. You know the Cowboys are going to end up winning the NFC East. And, man, I'm not one of those guys who's, Cowboys going to win the Super Bowl every year. But
you're chasing two, right?
Here's the deal. If Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year, it'll be despite Dak Prescott. I'm still not sold on Dak. I still think he's going to choke in the big games, and that's going to kill us in the playoffs, and that's unfortunate. I hope God hears me and says, we're going to give Dak a chance this year. But I don't know if that's going to happen, bro, because...
Dear Ripper, I have heard your prayers, and Dak will now win you a championship.
Please, baby Jesus, don't let Dak act like Tony Romo this year. But yeah, it's...
Are we talking Tony Romo from that field goal fumble in Seattle? Because I'd like that.
Field goal fumble, Tony Romo throwing an interception, fourth quarter drive. There's a lot, man. Dak
what about the Tony Romo throwing the ball that Dez Bryant caught in the touchdown?
Bro.
Yeah.
That was a catch.
That was a catch.
That was our year to win Super Bowl too. But anyways, long story short, Colts aren't going to beat the Cowboys. Will they make it a game? Cowboys always let you sneak in because Cowboys get a lead and they're like, we'll just coast the rest of the way. But yeah, the Cowboys win this one. Offensively, they're not the best team out there. They're getting better. Defensively, though, they're animals on the defense. They really are, and they're only getting better as the season progresses. They've got a lot of... You can name fantasy relevance off the Cowboys defense. So Cowboys all the way. I don't think the Colts have anything. Diggs, Lawrence, Parsons. You still got what's his name? Damn, Wolf,
That's not a
Hunter.
name. What's his name is not a
Van Der
starter.
Esch, man, Van Der Esch.
Good old what's his name? Starting at
know.
defensive tackle.
You know that guy. He
That
tackles
guy.
people. The guy in the team that tackles people. That guy.
That guy.
Anyways, Cowboys by a lot. That's my pick. Homer pick or not, Cowboys.
So how are you gonna? You said that you're gonna win the East, don't you? Aren't you chasing 2?
Oh, we're chasing Philly by week 10. We're down a game on Philly.
Is it only a game, or I thought it was 2?
What's Philly's record?
They've only lost
10 and
once.
1.
You're down by 2.
Yeah, we're down
10 and
by
1
2.
to 8 and 3.
They'll lose again. You know, Philly. Look, Philly has to play NFC East twice. Every team in the NFC East. They'll lose another game before we hit the Cowboys.
Oh God! So if you win the next game, aren't you just tied? No, because you beat them. That's why. Okay, I get it. I'm tracking.
I don't know. The Cowboys are winning the NFC East. Mark my words.
Gotcha.
So are you picking the Colts? I'm waiting.
Oh hell no! I'm sorry. I just thought that was obvious. There's no. I'm not gonna pick
But
the
they're
Colts.
your team.
Yeah. Watch me hop off that bandwagon. Dink.
That would be an interesting set to start the year next year. You guys all pick teams. You both pick teams that are gonna like always win or whatever. I'm just kidding. That was stupid.
I mean, we can. I think we do kind of say who we think is gonna be in the championship. I was just oopsie.
We did say who was going to be the championship. My pick was the Bills, and somebody's pick was the Colts, I think?
Correct.
I don't remember.
Well, that's why one of you is a football coach and one of you is an armchair quarterback.
Amen. Although I did pick the Rams last year. Just saying.
Next up.
All right. Next up, we've got the Saints and the Bucks.
And I only talked about the Cowboys for like 3 minutes.
I'm sorry.
That's a good thing. Cowboys and the Bucks. I mean, Saints
Cowboys.
and the Bucks.
The Cowboys have moved over to play 2 games this week. You've been flexed out, New Orleans. Thank you.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, I'd watch the Cowboys and Colts play again over the Saints and the Bucks on Monday night. So
it's a rivalry game, though, man. The Saints and the Bucks is a rivalry game. So I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think it's going to be. Honestly, I don't think the Bucks have the same defense that the 49ers do. Maybe, I mean, the game plan to stop the Saints is there. Plenty of teams have done it this season, but I don't think that it's going to be such a blowout this week. I honestly think this is going to be a lot better a game. I think Kamara comes back and plays a little bit better. But end of day, though, Timmy Brady and company are going to get the win. The defense will make more stops than obviously New Orleans can, but it is a rivalry game, man. This game is not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a better game than last week, but I am going with the Buccaneers, even though I hate picking Timmy Brady. I think the Bucs have more firepower than the Saints do. And you know, Saints aren't bad. They've got Love, a rookie receiver who's really good. They've got Kamara, who last 2 weeks has looked like he's not even playing football. They don't have a quarterback right now. It's tough, but they're still not a bad team. But end of story, Saints, Timmy Brown and company come in there, and Timmy Brady, my bad. Man, I'm all mixed up today.
I was thinking, I was very confused. I like
Timmy Brown.
Timmy Brown. Hello, my name is Timmy Brown.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that guy. He's playing quarterback.
Is he the dude in the like the Oculus commercial that wants to take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl? Is that Timmy Brown?
The kid on the bed.
Yeah.
The kid on the bed now. Who? Yeah. It's probably his son, because Tim Brown was like an old dude. No.
Yes, Raiders wide receiver.
I mean, he's 56. That's old.
Who?
Yeah.
Tim Brown.
Yes.
So Brady and company take this one.
I'm not a fan. Whoever's throwing the ball for the Saints, unless they put Hill in there, isn't going to do well. And for some reason, they're like, let's do the retread and Andy Dalton or the blind guy and Jameis Winston instead of the young athletic Justin Fields that'll at least get us 5 wins. The Bucs are at home. I think Brady and the Bucs handle these guys. So I'm also picking the Bucs.
Nice. Well, geez, do we have any difference?
Free Taysom Hill. Free Taysom Hill.
Yeah. I picked the Vikes. You picked the Jets. I picked the Niners. You picked the Dolphins. That's it. Bengals, Chiefs.
There you go.
So 3 wins. 3 wins over for me.
We shall see.
Okay. Hasn't been that way.
Game of the week? What's the game of the week this week? What's your all's game of the week?
I think it's the either the 49er Dolphins or the Chiefs Bengals.
Yeah, the Niners Dolphins is the one I'm actually going to probably pay most attention to, outside of the Seahawks Rams, which of course I'll watch because that's local. So
game of the week for me, I think is Kansas City and Cincinnati. That's gonna be a hell of a game to watch. I'm gonna enjoy that one. San Francisco, Miami too. I think the other one I really want to watch again is the Jets in Minnesota. But yeah, game of the week, I think it's Mahomes versus Burrow, right? You can't deny. I think they should have flex scheduled that to a primetime game, right? I get it, Sunday night, Dallas Cowboys, Indianapolis. Dallas Cowboys get more ratings, is why they're playing in a primetime spot over and over, by the way. This Thanksgiving was the most watched NFL game ever, by the way. But yeah, I think you should have flexed Kansas City, Cincinnati to a prime spot. New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Monday night. Ugh. But anyways.
No, but they don't flex to Monday night. They only flex to Sunday night.
Sunday night, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. And when does the flexing start? Because they should already flex.
Oh, they've already flexed next week's game, the week 14 game.
They should have flexed this one.
Who did they flex out?
Thing is, you can't flex the Cowboys.
Correct.
You know Jerry Jones ain't standing up for that shit. And the ratings are there. Why would you flex a high rating game?
You wouldn't.
Regardless of who they're playing.
Yeah.
They flexed the Chiefs Broncos out of Sunday night and Dolphins Chargers in.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
And that's because of the Broncos.
Yep.
Correct.
It's unfortunate because the Kansas City Cincinnati game,
because the announcers don't want to be there. Well, here we are, 55-3. Oh.
Tony Romo said I ain't going.
But at least they'd be in Denver where weed is legal. So.
Yeah, true. I just don't care. It's 55-3.
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Here and there and everywhere.
All right, so that's our predictions. Recap of the records: 107, 72, and 1 for Ripper, 179 and 1 for Wardy. Chasing what? 7 games?
Yeah, girl. Can you get there picking the same as me? But I get it. You want to be a winner. I get it.
Gotcha. Well, I got to pick the right ones. So three chances to get up on you to this week. So we'll see what happens. Great talking to you guys as always. Thanks, everybody. And we're out.